Hi, everyone. Welcome to our PartySlate webinar today. I think we're just giving people a handful of minutes to sign on to Zoom and to get settled. In the meantime, with everyone who is on, if you want to just drop in the chat where you're from, what property you're with, I always think it's kind of fun to see where everyone is calling in from. And I'm so excited today. We have Daniela and Tina with us. They are both amazing, have both been in venue event sales for honestly so many years. And so I'm excited to have both of you guys on with us today to talk about your experience. And you have also been using PhotoHub, PartySlate's tools for quite a while too, because we launched it formally last month, but we've had it in beta for much longer. And I think both of you guys were users even during our beta phase.
Yes, we're excited to be here.
Yeah. Oh, I think someone just said they can't hear anything. Tara, let me know if there's any audio issues that are happening or if anyone else is having issues hearing the audio, let me know. We are hopefully the audio is working for everyone. Well, I would love, like I said, would love to see for people who can hear us, which hopefully people are able to hear us, would love to know what venue you guys are joining from and where you guys are located. We're really excited to. All right, I see New York. Another New York, Sofitel, New York, Four Seasons, Tamarindo. This is fun. We have a lot of East Coast. Tina's out there on the East Coast with you guys, and Daniela has a really fun destination venue, but she is based out of Connecticut, right, Daniela?
Yes,
Your background is deceiving, though.
I know. It's like, how's Anguilla? And I'm like, it's great, I'm sure, but I'm here in the snow.
That's where everyone wishes they were. And we have Elena who's on with us too. Hi, Elena. And Elena's here in Chicago with us.
Hi, good morning. Well, good afternoon now. How is everybody doing?
Great. I think we're just giving people a few minutes to hop onto Zoom and then would love to have, we can get started. Maybe why don't we start with having the three of you guys do a quick intro about yourselves? I'm really excited, like I said, to have the three of you here. Just so much experience across all three when it really comes to selling event spaces at venues, and also so much experience when it comes to how your team has been using the PartySlate tools. So Daniela, why don't we start with you? I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the venue as well.
Of course. Hi, I'm Daniela, the Director of Sales and Marketing for Malihana Resort in Anguilla. It's a 63-room property, tons of weddings. We're really known for our weddings. We have a wedding almost every day while we're open throughout the season. Sorry, every weekend while we're open throughout the season. And it's just a beautiful, you can see my background, beautiful destination.
We're all jealous.
I'm jealous of my team that's on site, but luckily I get to visit next month.
Yes. And Tina would love to hear a quick intro about yourself and your property as well.
Yes, so good afternoon, everybody. Tina Miljevic, Director of Catering Events at the Langham in Boston. We have one in Chicago too, so I have to get there and visit. But I've been in the event world for almost 20 years. I oversee the team here at the Langham from everything with high-end social celebrations, large-scale corporate events. We use Photo Hub almost on the daily, and I'm excited to talk through that with everybody and how we've implemented it into our sales and detailing lives.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. And Elena would love to hear a quick intro for yourself and also Hilton, Chicago.
Hi, so here from Chicago, weather yesterday was very nice. We all thought it was getting like to the spring weather, but today we went back to winter. So we here at Hilton Chicago, we used PhotoHub basically I can say every day. And I think like you guys can see how I'm adding more and more people. I'm requesting to have more team members joining. We have a team of like almost 20 between event managers and sales and catering sales manager. And everybody like they are talking about the how easy it is to share the pictures through just the link, creating the link. So everybody keep like asking if I can add them. So it is very helpful. And we use it a lot when we are on the floor during the site visit. It's like life changing. Like honestly, all you do, you create already that link, you open that in your iPad. And sometimes when you are on the site and they ask you, can you send that? Can you share the pictures with me? Sure. It's just a second just to send them that link. And I think like overall, using PhotoHub, we elevate like the experience that we are providing our customers here at Hilton Chicago.
I love that. And I think the fact that you have such a big team probably resonates with so many people on this call because anyone who's at, a property that's doing the number of events and the type of work that a lot of people here are doing, you're going to have a bigger team. And it is a challenge to facilitate this type of efficiency across a team. So before we get started, though, I do want to do a quick intro to PartySlate because I know we have a lot of familiar people who are on the call, but some people who are joining are also hearing about PartySlate for the first time. And so today, obviously, we'll be talking about the venue sales playbook, really focused on Photo Hub. But overall, I would say for PartySlate, a lot of people always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I'm going to share a quick story. So this is the Four Seasons Beverly Hills entrance hallway. It's a beautiful, beautiful property. But I think when you see this hallway during the daytime, it's kind of hard to envision how it can transform into an evening event. And so property in this case, they had a couple who was coming in, really wanted this grand moment entrance for when they came in. And so they pulled up, they used Photo Hub, and within a few seconds, they pulled up the perfect image from the same space. And they found this image. And you can just see how hard it is to visualize exactly what that space could be until you see this image. There's draping, there's uplighting, it's set up with tables. And for them, I mean, this was really helpful for the couple to actually envision how that wow moment, their wow entrance would look. And we really believe here at PartySlate that content is your currency. I think a lot of people know us for the marketplace side, for the public profiles that you have, where there's a lot of content that's already on your page. But we've actually now taken that a step farther, where we know that content plays a key role throughout the decision process beyond just exploring. Also, when you connect with people, also when clients are deciding who it is that they want to commit with. And so we've really focused on building a set of tools that help you drive revenue at every single stage of that decision journey by surfacing the right photos right when you need them. And that's really what led for us to the inspiration of building Photo Hub, which I know a lot of people have referenced now. And we're really, really excited to share throughout this call how different people are using this tool. But Photo Hub really is a place where you can store, find, and share your images. It's all private. So what you put into Photo Hub does not show up publicly on your PartySlate profile. Really, you can think of it as a place where you can privately store everything. And then we do have AI-powered search that's built natively within. And so when it comes to that ability to find something, it takes 2 seconds. I know I was talking to Daniela and Tina a little bit earlier, but that ability to just search, pink carpet or chairs, and it takes 2 seconds and it pulls up exactly that photo that you're thinking of. And then, of course, once you find the photos, we've also built a tool to help you start sharing them using what we call photo boards, where I'm excited for you guys to also hear how different people on this call are using the photo boards as part of their process. And Ellen, I know you referenced how your team's been using them as part of different parts of your sales process. And so I'll do just a few minutes on how it works, and then we'll dive into our panelists. But let's say I'm on Google. I'm going to take you to the front of the house first, the public side. And I'm a consumer. Let's say I'm a bride. I'm already married, but let's say rewind a few years. I'm a bride and maybe I'm looking to get married in New York. I saw a lot of people in the chat who are here from New York. I might type into Google top venues in New York. And when I type there, the first few are usually sponsored places. And then PartySlate is oftentimes the first or the second link that comes up. In this case, I will click on that. And in this case, it was the first. And let's say I am a bride and I really want to get married at a hotel. So we do have different filters to allow you to choose and narrow it down more. Let's say hotels, I'm scrolling. Okay, Lotte New York Palace looks great to me. And this is what the consumer is seeing. So there's this beautiful profile page that is curated with the top event photos, really showcase the space well. They've set it up so that all their event spaces are laid out here with additional photos. And of course, kind of like what I call the core of PartySlate is the event galleries. And we've done a lot of research and we know that consumers are very visual, which is why we're all here to talk about how teams are using Photo Hub. But people always engage with this because they want to see what real events look like. And then this is the back of house. This is Photo Hub, where this is that private place where you can store, find, and share your photos. I'll just do a quick example. I'm in Photo Hub. Again, let's say I'm a bride coming through. Maybe they want to show me what aisles here look like. A lot of beautiful aisle setups. But I'm a venue where I know my bride cares specifically about maybe she came into tour and she really loved the Madison room. So I'm actually going to filter specifically now for the Madison room. And this actually narrows down aisles to just what's in the Madison room. And from here, I can take these photos. I could select a few, just gonna select a few randomly, and then I'll create a photo board. Aisle examples for Lillian, because I'm the bride in this example. And now I have this beautiful, easily shareable link that can be shown on a tour or that can be emailed as a follow-up. And so that is what our team has spent so much time building. And we're excited now to jump into it with Tina, Elena, and Daniela to hear more about how their teams specifically have been using Photo Hub. And we want to make this conversational too. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to use the chat. I will keep an eye on the chat and we'll try and make sure we get those answered as well throughout this. So to start, maybe let's start with Tina, you first. I would love to know before Photo Hub, how was your team storing and sharing event photos? And then how did that transform when you did decide to move to Photo Hub?
It was a bit archaic. We were using our shared drive on our network at work. There were pictures in there and they were kind of a mishmash. There was one folder that was just photos that were just dumped into it. Some others were organized by photographer or by event name. Some had been trickled out into a little more useful what ballroom or what we might be actually looking for. So it was a little bit all over the place, very disjointed. We then started moving that into an online Dropbox, Google Photos, some sort of albums that were organized. That never really took off and it got challenging. And at the perfect time, beta came available for Photo Hub. And again, with the photo dump in there was incredible because then it's just AI. It's a search bar. And that changed the game.
Love that. I think everyone can like the mishmash of what a shared drive looks like. I feel like I certainly can resonate. That resonates with me. And I feel like everyone on this probably
Dreadful.
knows what that looks like.
And where my team is mostly, I mean, we're in the office 3 days a week, we're home 2 days a week. No one wants to be on a VPN most of the day and then having to connect and find pictures. And it's not great for anyone involved.
Yeah. And Daniela, what about you for your team with how your team was storing before and how has that changed to now?
Similar to Tina, we started off with the OneDrive, a shared folder, and then Google folders so that we could share it externally a little bit easier. But we were also saving folders by photographer or venue. And then it was just like, I think with Photo Hub, it really created like our photo management assistant, is what I always call it. I'm like, it saved us so much time because we would used to use all the repetitive pictures because you only gravitate to what you know and what you've used before. And it's saved a lot of hours just to be able to share it externally and then just do a quick search, aerial view, aisle, like you did ceremony. And even going through calls, I'm remote. I'm based in Connecticut. My property is in Anguilla, so I'm on calls with clients almost every day. And it's a great follow-up tool as well. I create the photo boards. I review it during the call, and they're like, "Can you just share that with me?" And quickly just type in their email, share it, and then follow up as well. So it's just a great tool overall. My team uses it as well in different aspects within the sales process. So I'm in love with the product.
I love that. I love that it's saving you time because I think everyone here, that is the one thing we never have enough of. There's always a million things you're getting pulled away from your computer to do a site visit, or someone's asking a question about something, someone calls you. And so time, anywhere where we can save time is so valuable.
Absolutely.
And, Elena, how about yourself and your team?
So I think like I agree with Daniela and Tina. It is time saving is one of the biggest things, right? It's just knowing that everything is there, and also like how many times we have customers that they have had a beautiful wedding, and then you try to get the pictures, and there is no way you get the pictures. But now it's just different. You go to a PartySlate and all of a sudden the pictures are there just because the photographer posts the pictures and they tag you and all of the pictures are in your gallery and it's like magic. It's like, oh my God, it's so easy. So I think like time saving and also like kind of quality service, right? Giving having your team members, all of them sharing the same pictures, that is all of us being on the same page in the team. And I think like that's very important. And another thing that I don't know if you guys, probably you guys know this because you are in love with the app as much as I am. You can check what other managers are sending, right? Whenever I go to the history and I see the links that they have been created, I'm like, whoa, why are they sending this picture? I can't. That picture doesn't look that great. So I just check with them with the team, like who is using these pictures. Try to avoid using that one. Go in this direction, or I just check what they have been sending, and I surprise myself, and I find things that I wasn't using, and I can use. So it is great. I think it's being all of us on the same page, and I think Tina, you mentioned, or Daniela, both of you, we sometimes we work from home and you don't have access to the P drive, and having everything in PartySlate is just life changing, as I said before.
I love hearing that. And that's funny, Elena, that you said that you're looking at the other photo boards that other people are creating and either you're learning or you're coaching, which I actually never even thought about that. But that is such a smart way of doing it as someone who's leading a team to understand, it kind of gives you a little bit more depth and insight into how people are selling.
Definitely.
And so I would love to ask three of you to walk us through, and maybe Elena, we'll start with you, but to walk us through what happens when you begin speaking with a new prospective client, and when does PhotoHub show up as part of your sales process?
It's funny that you asked this because I think like it is present like the entire process, right? We use it when we start talking with the customer, when we are just describing the place and selling them our space. We always include the link with pictures from past examples. Then it also comes when we are in the site visit. That's another time that we use PhotoHub. We normally, what we do, we prepare the link before we have the site visit because even though I think like the searching tool is helpful about the aisle or different colors that you want to show them your ballrooms, I think it's helpful, but I try to prepare that in advance so I don't need to go through the searching because it's always like you are talking with them at the same time, you are walking the space, and now you also need to search. So I try to prepare myself for having the gallery ready. And once you have that link created, it's also very easy because you can send it to them right there without asking, can you remind me your email address or things like that. So we use it like in the entire process before when we start preparing a proposal during the site visit, as a reminder after the site visit. So it's present like from the beginning to the end.
Well, when you're doing that prep ahead of the site visit, are you curating a unique link for every single site visit, or do you have a photo board that you're reusing?
We are creating a unique link because you guys know every customer is different, right? And if they are looking for red colors or red example, I just focus on that. So we create a unique link. We send it to the iPads that we have, or we open a PartySlate in the app in the iPad, and whenever we unlock the iPad, the photo gallery is already there. And what we also do, we customize the message. That you can
Yeah.
include a message. So we
Yeah.
customize the message with the name of the couple or with the date. Or recently we have a site visit for a wedding for New Year, and we include something about the champagne toast at midnight and things like that, personal touches. So it is very easy to use, and people are very impressed about it when we show it to them.
I love it. Were you able to, I guess, before you started using Photo Hub, you mentioned you had, I think, like a P drive where you had your photos. Were you able to do this type of before every site visit? Were you pulling photos like this before?
So it is funny. We were talking about this with my team members. As I said before, I encourage all of them to use it, right? And in the last meeting I was having, I was telling them like, guys, stop using your phone. People, you are walking around the space, you are trying to find the pictures in your phone, and then you have the mother of the bride and somebody that is old that cannot even see your phone because he's very little, and you are like zooming in the picture. I'm like, before we used to go with the phone, and some members were showing some pictures that they used to take in the events, and other team members were showing something different. So we having parties late, we really combine what we are showing, and we are all on the same page. And before, yes, I said the phone number, the phone, or printing the pictures and having that inside of the folder that we were gonna give the customers. And I think like is having an iPad and having access to PartySlate, you get it. And if you don't have an iPad, some properties they don't have the iPad. It's okay. Just send the customer the link before you are gonna start the site visit, and you can surprise them telling them, "I already sent you the link to your email. It's gonna be in your inbox whenever you leave the property." So it is very. You can do so many things with it.
Yeah, I love what you said about consistency because that's so hard to have everyone be consistent with everything's all over.
Yes. Mhm.
And Daniela, how about you with your process? So, what does that sales process typically look like, and when does Photo Hub show up in your sales process?
Honestly, from the beginning, we have templates that we create for our responses. So from the moment we get an RFP, it's already on the template, the gallery images, and then from there they'll ask questions. We'll have calls with the bride or the mother of the bride, and I'll go through it, and they'll say, "Oh, can you show me what the dancing on the terrace of Celeste looks like?" I just did it like 2 hours ago, so that's the one example I shared, and they're like, "Wow, that looks so much fun," because you see like they're on the terrace, whether they're having like a champagne tower, fireworks. You can see that couples and the family is actually having so much fun. So it's great to just be on the call with them and say, oh, what about the beach ceremony? We don't do it often because we do it on our bluff area, but this is what it would look like. And it's just real images from past weddings that couples, planners, parents love to see because that really helps them envision their wedding at Malihana. And then we follow up with from the call, we follow up with those links of the images that we shared for the photo boards. And then we also include it in like our proposal documents. And beyond that, our leisure managers also use it for like pickleball, like for different showcasing different amenities. So it's not just I oversee all of the sales and marketing departments. So I love how I'm copied into emails and our leisure manager is connecting with the travel agent, like, oh, here's our pickleball courts, our spa. So our team uses it left and right. And I always, at the beginning, when we started using it in beta, I was always setting a disclaimer. I was like, I don't work for PartySlate, but if you don't use it, you're a fool because this will save you so many hours with the integration to Canva as well. When we create presentations to share with couples, it's rare that we do, but when we do, we can just like type in. And before it was like dreading the attaching images to emails and then getting a bounce back. The images are too, just like those days are over, and I'm so thankful for it.
The attaching images to email experience could not be a worse experience.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
always oversized. You always have to resize it. And then I personally am always paranoid that's going to get flagged as spam because Gmail hates those attachments.
I know.
I'm like, are they even
Yeah,
seeing it?
those were dreadful days, but now we're way past it. So I'm
Truly dreadful. It's in the past.
yeah,
Goodbye. Goodbye, email attachment.
ancient years.
Ancient years. Okay, Tina, what about you? How about your process and where does Photo Hub show up?
very similar look and feel. I mean, from the very beginning, that first inquiry, there's a link to albums in our template emails. On the site is where it really shines. We have our iPads. We've created albums already that feature each of our spaces and different looks and feels. And we utilize each room differently depending on the couple and what they're looking for. So to be able to have those literally at our fingertips and just be able to open the iPad, click a button. To your point, Ellen and I, we with the phones and pulling up these small pictures, you can't zoom in or it's blurry. Yeah, those days are long gone. So
Yeah.
to be able to just walk through the spaces like this, and then, you gather so much information when you're talking to these clients in person when you finally get them through the door. And to be able to take all of that, go back, we have a proposal hub that we use, and here are the XYZ photo albums that really show you everything we just talked about. Um,
I love that. What are specific examples, Tina, of what someone might say to you on a tour? And then you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to remember to include this in the proposal.
We hear all the time, a couple of our ballrooms, they're so beautiful, you don't need to add much. So to play off of that, because then, you always have the stigma, especially around weddings. Oh, I need the flowers and I need the lighting and we need draping along the walls that don't have windows. And I can show them pictures immediately that don't have any of those things or have very simple, tasteful florals. And there are the weddings that want to go over the top and really elevate the space. And we have that too. And you still have this natural beauty and history of the building intact.
I love that. That's great. And then I'm looking at the chat. Someone asked, when we send clients a link to PartySlate to see the room pictures, do they need to register as a user to see pictures? And the answer is no. So they don't have to be a PartySlate user. It's truly a public link. Anyone can view it and access it. And I will show, I think when we go back at the end of this to look at Photo Hub again, I will show you all, but you still do maintain full control of that link by setting an expiration date. And so there are some cases where maybe you never want that link to expire. Let's say it's in a template email and you want it to be live all the time. That's an option. But maybe you are sending it to someone who is an active bride and it's a custom link. And maybe you only want it active for 3 weeks, for example. You can choose to have it expire in 3 weeks as well. But it is public visible for anyone. And then someone else Nicole asked, she has one venue with an account on PartySlate and the other who doesn't. Can both venues use Photo Hub? And so Photo Hub is a members specific tool. And so the one who is a member with PartySlate would definitely encourage you to use it. And then of course, if these tools sound interesting to you, I will share a link at the end where someone on our team could connect with you too, to explore other options for you. All right, so I think for Daniela, would love to ask you this question. Are you able to give a specific example of how you used an AI search term during whether it's a call? It sounds like you're always live searching on calls based on what people are saying. So whether it's on a call or during maybe putting together a proposal, just like what are those specific things where you find yourself trying to stay nimble to that conversation and wanting to pull up that exact photo?
Absolutely. It's typically I start off with an aerial image of the property because you'll see the surrounding waters and the nature that surrounds the property that most people gravitate towards when they're looking for a destination wedding. And then I'll do an aerial ceremony where you'll see like my background, it's the bluff. You can't really see it, it's small, but you'll see specific setups for ceremonies. And then I walk them through the nights, right? So you do the ceremony and then I walk them through what the bar looks like for their cocktail reception. And then I also sneak in images of where the couple is taking pictures. So I'll say bluff image, couple image, and then we take dramatic pictures like right on that bluff area of the couple, of the bride with her gown, and it's just stunning. And they get really excited about that. And then I transition that into dinner just so they really walk through all of our venues and can see what it's looked like for past events. And again, whether that's been an elaborate setup, because similar to what Tina said, is that people want minimal setup options. They're spending so much money, they don't want to spend, I don't know, 50 grand on florals and decor. So I show them both options of what that looks like. And then in real time, I'll save those photo boards and then send them as a follow-up. But then I also have my team that's on site. They do site visits on my behalf all the time. They're like, oh, this person definitely wants to see what the after party looks like at Leon's. Can you follow up with images for that one? And then I make sure that on my follow-up email, I include that photo board as well.
I love that. I bet the bluff photo people, that's the Instagram shot. They see
Yeah.
it, they're like, that's what I'm posting.
Absolutely. They love it. And you can really transform it. It's grass, essentially overlooking the water at sunset. It's beautiful on its own, but you really see people transform it. They add decks, different seating, florals. So it looks beautiful however you want to decorate it.
Yeah, great. And then I'm curious, I think for all three of you, what does your typical follow-up look like using photo board? And there was a world before, back in the ancient days when we didn't have photo boards. And so how has that follow-up, the difference in follow-up changed how the client has responded? And Elena, I'd love to start with you on this one.
I think we did mention this. It's kind of when they come here and they saw you and when you are having the call and they explain to you what are they really looking for, because I think like we all have like that uh, base gallery that we send or that initial link with pictures that we send, but when we know a little bit more the details, I think sending them like the customized link for them, it is a very really nice touch where we include, as my Tina and Daniela were saying, if they want something that is very minimalist, we can just go ahead and include that pictures and forget about changing the colors or having that in a heavy setup weddings in that link. It's more about customization.
Yep. Yep. And I think it probably builds trust too with the client where they really feel like they were heard during this process.
Correct.
I think it
Yeah.
makes it more engaging as well. I mean, the clients are coming back to us, saying, "Oh, can I see it this way?" Or, "Oh," and you're continuing that conversation rather than I send my proposal and here's the pricing, and maybe I don't hear back from you. But if they're truly able to envision it just by clicking on a link, it keeps them involved the
Yeah.
entire time.
That's
People love visuals, I think, too. So it's just
Mhm.
like you said, Tina, if I'm showing them a link of, I don't know, fireworks for your after party, they're going to be like, wow, I could really see myself there. So they continue asking questions and it carries through to
Yeah.
track signing. And then our events team that's on site also uses it for different ideas when they're doing pre-planning visits and tastings. They'll show them like the food setups as well. And then just like very detail oriented questions are answered with those images.
Mhm.
Tina, and I think the rest of you guys too, but have you noticed that either like the amount of deals that you've been able to close has changed or like deals are moving through faster now that you're using visuals as part of your process and in a more integrated way?
I think the speed has definitely been noticeable. We're certainly that engagement piece, they're able to see themselves here and they're like, yep, that's it. That's the space where I want to be. Um, and then just even backing up to that initial site visit. If they can truly see these live photos right away, rather than an email that get sent to everybody with the packages attached or, some general pricing minimums, whatever it is. Um, Immediately they're already picturing themselves walking down that aisle,
Yeah.
or hosting that big birthday celebration, or the baby shower. We've had plenty of girl baby showers right in this room with the pink carpet. Or the boys go in Wilson Ballroom with blue carpet, and it tugs at those heartstrings.
Yeah. Daniela, have you noticed anything similar to that?
Same. I mean, especially for a lot of our couples, they maybe have never been to Anguilla or even seen our property. They've just seen images. So that gives them the certainty that this is what it actually looks like. I share our galleries as well from past, like the full albums of past weddings. And then it gets into those details and it makes them feel that more connected to the property. And a lot of them will come before signing a contract, but there's a handful that don't. And I think they feel very comfortable with the images that I share, answering all their questions and say, yes, of course, we've done that. This is what it looks like. These are your alternatives if you do it differently. So it's definitely made it of a quicker turnaround for a lot of our inquiries.
Yeah, I feel like especially when you're a destination location where I would assume many of the people you're working with don't live in
Yeah.
on island. I feel like visuals are so key to giving them that confidence and trust.
Yeah.
And Elena, how about you? What have you noticed?
Agree with them 100%. I think the process is just faster because how many times we have site visit on a Saturday and we have back-to-back site visits, and then you cannot send the couple the pictures that you were talking about until you go back to your office. And sometimes just being fully transparent and honest, sometimes we even forget what the first site that we had in the morning at 10 a.m. told us that they want to do. And then you have, it's 2 p.m. after four site visit. You are like, oh my God, is the first site visit the one that said that they want the red colors, or is the third one? So it is, you are right there, right? And before they leave the building, the fact that they can have the pictures already on their phone is very impressive. And I think yeah, the process is just faster, easier, and seems like the three of us are getting commissions out of PartySlate, which is not the case. I think I encourage everybody to start using it because it is really makes a difference. It's just seems like you make them feel heard, seen, you make them feel a priority because you are on top of it. It's like, oh my God, we just left and we already have the pictures here. And when they leave your building, your property is when they start talking about it. Oh my God, did you see that balloon? And hey, look, we already have the picture. It is really is what we are looking for. Is when the lead, we call it, is when the lead is had, is when the inquiry is had, and you hit them with the pictures. So it's perfect timing. So yeah, 100% agree with Daniela and Tina.
Yeah, Elena, I feel like your example of the Saturdays where you have four tours and you're like, oh my God, what did I even do at 10 a.m. today is so relatable. Those days are just crazy and you're back to back and you're on the whole time and you're like trying to be present and thinking about, what the current people are saying in front of you. It's easy to forget some of the details from prior people. So I think
Higher sides. Yes. And one thing obviously some of the attendees might be thinking, how did you guys do it before? We did it. We used to do it. We didn't have this before, right? And you go back to your office and you send them the pictures in the email. But mind you, you only can send two or three pictures. Now you need to look at all of them, select what really define what they are looking for. When now with PartySlate, you can put as many pictures as you want in that link, and you don't even have to worry about it.
Yep, amazing. I'm curious because all of you guys have teams. What was the training process like for getting your team to use it? And because I feel like that's something that I've certainly heard people say, where this is a cool tool, but I feel overwhelmed at the thought of retraining my team to use a new system. And so, what worked well for you guys? I mean, what was that process like for you?
You guys worked well. Lindsay was incredible for us. She had a lot of patience, and we had everyone join a meeting and walk through the highlights with her and tips and tricks. And um, we brought it back to ourselves, and we all kind of experimented with it in our own ways, and then came back together and said, here's how we're all using it. And we're able to pull different ideas from each other. And then we're able to share it with the larger team, the core people who are truly using it every day versus, a couple of sites here and there for the walkthroughs. But your team was incredible.
I love that. I'm going to pass the words on to Lindsay because I know that'll mean a lot to her. And I think for people who don't know, so anyone who is a PartySlate member, you do get assigned a customer success manager who really is there for your whole journey with us here at PartySlate. And they walk you through, they answer any questions. And I mean, it's, exactly what Lindsay did for Tina. If anyone wants someone from PartySlate to walk your team through how to use it, that is also what your customer success manager is going to be able to help you with too.
And that was still during beta time. So kudos to her and her patience.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's only it is always a product that's in development. We're always trying to make it better. And so I'm sure having your feedback too was really helpful.
Right.
So Daniela, Elena, how about you two with training your team?
I had Haley as my manager, and she was great. She just did it with me directly a few times in beta as well. And I was so excited. We have a weekly sales and marketing call, and I took the opportunity for one of them to just focus on PartySlate and photo sharing. How I forget the beta name, but it was just, for different persons. So marketing manager that focuses on creating collateral, you can integrate it now through Canva, search, and just like night and day, they don't have to go through different folders, share drive to download it to their desktop and then attach it to a presentation. And then it was just like continuous, just having that one call and continue pushing the product through my team. And like, remember, you can share it because I would still see like folders being shared. I'm like, why are we sharing a Google folder? Because you could easily customize this link and share it. Like we have different companies that we work with that are asking for like 5 to 10 images so that they can upload it on our profile for different circumstances. And our other marketing manager that focuses on partnerships will she'll send it to me to review, but she'll create a link specifically, customize it. This is for X company for this project, and she'll send it through and they're able to look at it and select their images through there. So we use it all around. I honestly love it. If you don't have it, you're wasting time.
Mhm.
Elena, how about you with your team?
I think like for my team, all of this started. We went to the last summit event that you guys had. And when we left, all of them were like, "Oh my God, that was amazing. Foresight is very good." And I was like, "Okay, somebody needs to take the lead on this and needs to put all of this together, really make it work." Your team, Lillian, was amazing. You even helped me to walk through the process. And I think like when I understood perfectly how this worked, I've been introducing this with my team in all of my one-on-ones with them or all of the monthly meetings that I have with the team. I show them how I'm doing this. Whenever I see that some of the team members created like a gallery that I really like it, I share that with everybody. I'm constantly like encouraging them to use it. And I think like the more that they get engaged on using this and they see all of the benefit, they all are like encouraging each other to post the pictures. They are reaching out to other customers to find like to have other galleries here. So I think like it is basically showing them like the excitement, right? Which is what we are doing here. The excitement that we have with for this is real because it has been game changing. So once they started seeing this, they are all in, and I try just to remind them, and I try to send them like reminders, like guys, try to join this PartySlate webinar. You guys are gonna find more details about how to keep working with with the app. So I think yeah, just being on top of that.
I love that. I mean that makes a lot of sense. And I see someone in the chat asked, how do you inspire photographers to upload events after or weddings after the event? And sometimes it's hard to know who the photographers, who the events are. So we do have a whole network of vendors who are also on Party Slate, whether they're, photographers, whether they're planners. I know planners oftentimes will also get the event gallery. And when they get the gallery, they have the option of tagging who their partners are and then sharing it with you. And so when we go back to demoing what Photo Hub actually looks like, now that we've heard everyone talk about it so much, I will show people where that shared with me section is, because that's where I forget who it is, but I think one of you guys had talked about, I think Elena, maybe you, how sometimes it's so hard to get photos. And part of the magic of Party Slate is that people are tagging you and sharing with you. And so some of those photos appear without you having to actually get those photos yourself originally. So I'll show you guys where that section is. And so with that, I would love to show everyone what people's photos hubs look like and all the different photo boards that people have created. I know I'm a very visual person, so I think sometimes it's helpful to actually see what it looks like. Why don't we start with you, Tina? Here's the Langham Boston's profile. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful space, obviously. And I'm going to click on Photo Hub. So this is, again, it's back end, private, only Tina and her team can see this. No consumer is able to access this. So Tina, why don't you kind of like take me through, I think you had mentioned you have a bunch of albums that you had pre-created that you like for your team to use on tours.
We sure do. So I think our last uploads, yes, from February 2026. So we are up to date with the latest weddings. But here are all of the albums. Zach and Alana is a great example of a wedding album that we uploaded. So this is, really the photo dump, if you will.
I call it photo dumping too,
Yeah.
because you don't have to curate it. I can see from here, I think there's, yeah,
Yeah,
1,500 photos.
1,500 pictures.
It's
Yes.
private storage. So you don't have to think of it. Because sometimes people get stressed. I feel like they're like, oh, I have 1,000 photos. I only want to upload the top 30. You have unlimited
Mhm.
storage and it doesn't go onto your public profile. So you can actually just
Incredible.
really dump it. I call it photo dumping too.
Photo dumping. You can see there are some really cute, creative titles for some of our internal albums. Others, really focus. These are Jewish wedding traditions,
I love that.
ketubah signings, huppahs, unity candles, some
Mhm.
really great design ideas. Um,
Head table inspiration
Head
design.
tables, are you at a sweetheart? Are you at the long table? Is there a round? Are there rented chairs? Are there house chairs?
And
Florals.
Tina, are you the one who made these or is it someone on your team who curated these?
I started them and started getting a little overwhelmed with adding all the pictures. So then we tasked a team member with kind of filling in the blanks, but at least started the general look and feel, and we finished. So now whenever a album gets uploaded, this is just an automatic add-on.
That's amazing. And this is great too, the getting ready shots. I feel like when you're a hotel, it's such a key part of what people are thinking about too.
And at the hotel, not only are there on-site weddings, but the wedding room blocks. So our social manager really runs with those albums and he has them on his iPad when he's walking through with clients in the suites.
Yeah,
A
that's awesome.
little bit
And so
harder to envision how many people can fit in a suite versus the pictures.
I'm sure you've had some big bridal parties that have managed to get ready all together.
That's for sure. One
And then
trend that has not changed over 20 years.
yep. And then does your team use photo boards? Oh yeah, it looks like you guys do. You have a lot of photo boards in here.
We do. We do. So we're really trying our hardest to utilize this in every way, shape, and form. We've also started using the photo boards for specific planners. So if a couple comes to us and says, we're looking for a planner for our event, can you recommend someone? Not only can we recommend their services, but we can say, and here are some pictures of weddings that they personally have done at the hotel.
I love this. And I want to actually show everyone on the call something that I don't think we've talked about yet, but because of how, so Kelly Elizabeth events, because of how our filters are set up, you can actually filter by tagged partners. And so
Mhm.
let's say I'll just type in Kelly as an example. And let's say, someone is interested in Kelly Elizabeth events, you can
Mhm.
actually filter now for the event that she specifically, all the photos that she was responsible for partnering with you on. So that's a really powerful way of, again, that customization, making a client feel like they were really heard in some of the questions that they had. There are a lot of other album tags in here too. You could
Mhm.
you could filter for just wedding, for example, and now it's only pulling wedding photos. You could filter for if there's a specific album name, you can filter for that as well. And so let's say, oops, let me just clear all. We could also do that. I know previously we looked at, oops, I'm going to clear. All right. But maybe I'm interested specifically in getting ready shots. I could filter for getting ready. I saw you had that getting ready album, and
Mhm.
that then pulls up a lot of these examples that you can then select these photos. I'm not going to do anything and add it to anywhere, but you can always choose to add it to an existing board,
Mhm.
or an existing album.
Yes.
So, let's say you have a new album that was uploaded and you want to include these getting ready shots in, or you can also create a new album. And so that's just a really easy way for Tina's team to keep things updated, like you said, when you have new content that is coming in.
Yes. And we have now tasked our coordinator with, as soon as photos are uploaded, to start tagging them as well. So we talked a little bit about the challenge on our side is, we've uploaded so many photos, but I don't necessarily know, or Photo Hub doesn't know what ballroom they belong to. So
Yep.
we need to now add some of those manual tags in addition to these great AI features.
Yep. So that is one of the newest features that we have where you can go in and you can create, I'll just show this here, but you can edit album and create a custom tag. So here you can type in anything, ballroom, foyer, whatever it is. All right, let's go to Hilton Chicago, Elena. And so this is Hilton Chicago's profile, obviously a beautiful property as well, set up really nicely. And then I'm going to go back to look at the photo hub. And so, Elena, I would love to hear and maybe take us through how your team is using this.
So before we go to Hilton Chicago, I gotta say, Tina, your profile looks amazing. I'm gonna need to have my team searching for more pictures. I'm like, oh my God, you guys really did a great job.
There's been a lot of trial and error, so you call me
Yes.
anytime.
Yeah, I just think like the more you use it, the more tricks and things you find in the app is very nice. So can you go, Lillian, to album instead?
Yeah. Let's look at albums.
So we use it the way we use it, or we have all of the pictures and we scroll down and select the ones that we like and we create the link, the famous link that we were talking before. But if I'm looking for any specific picture, can you go to the Elegant Hilton Chicago Ballroom? That one? Yeah. I just go there and select the pictures that I want to share with the couples. And then I create the link.
Yep, love that. So easy.
I write the name and then I create the link. Can you go all the way to the end and create the link so they can see
Yeah,
how the logo? Because I
yeah,
think that is important. When you guys open the link, when your customer open the link, it is the logo of your hotel is already there. It's like they are not gonna see something weird anywhere.
yep. And
And
so,
as you said, you can include like the expiration date.
Mhm.
yep. So this is where you choose when you want it to expire. And this is editable. I will show people also right after this where you can go in and edit it. But I'm going to generate the link. I'm going to copy the link and I will show everyone what this looks like. And so it's branded Hilton Chicago. It does say the link expires in 21 days, but this is a public link. So anyone can see it. Like I said earlier, you don't have to have a PartySlate account. And then these are those photos that I selected from that beautiful wedding, where if I click in, and now creates this really beautiful slideshow experience where it's really clean, really just focused on the photos. And that took like 2 seconds maybe for us to create together. Let me go back. And these are the photo board links that Elena's team has been
Correct. And
creating.
this is what I was saying before that every now and then I go here, I'm like, oh my God, why are they sending this picture? And then I ask the team, like, hey team, I saw these pictures, these are kind of old, don't use them. Let's focus on these new galleries. So it is helpful to take like codes, retrain and go in the same direction.
Yep. And you can always filter up here too with last modified. So this is the one that we just created. It's up here, or sorting it A to Z based on the name,
Correct.
sorting it on when it expires. But if we go into last modified, for example, it's really easy to see the most recent links that were created, like Waldorf here, for example. And then I do want to mention shared with me. So someone had asked, what about, how do we get photos that maybe we don't actually have access to and it's uploaded by someone else? And so shared with me is a section here where these are photos that were uploaded by someone else who then said, we hosted this event at, in this case, Hilton Chicago, and shared it with the Hilton Chicago profile. And so you'll see here, I mean, you have a ton of albums and a ton of content in here that were shared by other people. Some were photographers, some were planners. It's a variety of people, but this is part of that PartySlate network effect, where because we do work across a ton of different categories, it's not just venues, you will see other people tag you and share content with you as well. And all of this content, if I am going and I'm searching in the search bar, it pulls from any albums that you've uploaded yourself or any albums that were shared with you as well. So it's a really comprehensive view.
And for all of you that probably are thinking, oh, but sometimes we cannot share the pictures with clients because we don't have the release form from the photographer or the other couple. You can, as you guys mentioned, just put the expiration day for one day and share just a link with one day, or you can just show that to them live. And if you cannot share the pictures, just have the call and share your screen and you show them exactly where are the pictures.
Yeah, such a great point, Alana. All right, Daniela, let's move on to your property. My favorite. I always look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where I wish I was right now. So I was, sitting here in Chicago. I always get jealous, especially in March, I'll be honest. Okay, so let's take a look at your photo hub. So you've also, I mean, you have 11,000 photos in here, Danielle. It's truly impressive. This must be your entire photo library, right?
Yeah, so like I said, anytime we hire a photographer, like this was a Valentine's shoot, I make sure that the team uploads. We have one specific team member that's tasked to upload every album. She used to do Google folder. I said, no more. Go to PartySlate, upload it here. So you have everything from like a cocktail to pickleball to, I don't know, someone getting a massage. So it's great because, like I said, it's not just me for selling weddings, it's for our marketing team to create easels with cocktail making class or everywhere in between. For me, if you go to albums, we have, I don't know how many, we have countless albums.
A
Yeah,
lot.
these are all weddings, photo shoots that we've done. If you go to scroll down to Camera Shy, one of those, it's like the photo dump of the actual wedding. So like this, I said the ceremony, that's the bluff where they go to take those dramatic images. This is what I love to share with clients. I always get, if we have the album in here, it's because we've had a signed agreement with the photographer that we have consent to use and share these images. But if we don't, it's rare that we don't, because then if not, I wouldn't get the album. And I don't think I've looked on our photo share. I don't think I've gotten a collab from different vendors, but we get all of them luckily and just dump them like 11,000. I didn't realize we had that many, but we also use it for social media, and it's great that you can tag it and like copy the Instagram handles directly. So again, it's not just for weddings and events, it's for the whole sales and marketing process. So that's why I constantly mention it and ensure that my team is using it as they should, because it saves time and everyone is so busy. Like if I see that they're not using it, I'm like, all right, what are you doing? Because like this is what you have so much to do. Like go on PartySlate, share the link, and your life will be simplified.
Yeah, I was going to just say under tag partners here, you tag the photographer,
Yeah.
which is a great way for anyone. And I think one of the many reasons why I do think that I'm biased, obviously, but why I think this is better than a Dropbox or a Google Drive, because we've really built this for the event industry. We've thought about what it is that event professionals need, and in this industry, tagging your partners and giving credit where credit's due is such an important part of it. And so I'll just click on edit album so people can see, but we do have this function where you can always edit and include who your tag partners are. I'm not going to include anyone, but I'm just going to type in maybe like um, a design company. You could always include additional partners and save it down. And then when you do go and let's say you have this image that you want to use, you can click copy Instagram handles and it has that credit for the other partners directly right there, which is fantastic. The other thing I kind of wanted to just show people quickly is that AI powered search, because I know you mentioned, Daniela, that you love searching for, is it aerial shots?
Yeah, Ariel. Yeah.
And so I just typed that and it took 1 second, maybe under, and it
Yeah.
now has all these aerial shots that just pulled up right away, similar to your background. But it's because of that AI power that's enabled. And so you don't have to tag the photos, for example, with aerial or with cocktail or with pickleball. I know you mentioned too for your
Yeah.
marketing team. You just type in pickleball and pickleball photos just automatically appear here. Well, thank you guys so much. I think we have maybe, um, I'm just taking a look at some of the questions. I think one last question I would have for all three of you before we hop off. For anyone who's on this call and has never used Photo Hub before, if you had one workflow, just one specific Photo Hub feature that you would recommend them to try and integrate into their process, what would that be? And Tina, why don't we start with you?
I think just taking the leap and doing the photo dump, getting everything in there, and just start playing around with your AI search bar. Um, you're going to get the most use out of this. Eventually, you'll start getting a little bit more comfortable with the platform and creating those links. But just use it as your online photo album, where we don't have to do any manual work anymore.
Love that. Daniela, how about you?
I would say creating those proposal response templates and adding those links on there of past weddings, specific photo boards that you're trying to showcase for your property. That's what I always recommend because you have that template and that's your initial response to a wedding. I always customize it, but it gives you that shell of a template to share the highlights of recent weddings. So that's where I start from.
Amazing. Elena, what about you?
I think, like for me, as Tina mentioned, take the lead and just start doing it. I think for somebody that never use it and they go to the profile and they are kind of confused of how you use it, I will say connect with the PartySlate team and have them helping you and showing you how to walk through the process. And even if your gallery looks a little bit like all over the place right now, you guys will put it together. Now looking at my colleague galleries, guys, you telling me I'm gonna need to find more pictures. So today part of my task for the day is gonna be reach out to the people I know. They have been here for years and they can give me some of the pictures. I think taking the lead and just do it is like organizing your closet. Go through it, organize your closet, and then you will spend less time trying to find what you are looking for.
That's right.
Yep. I love it. And so I know everyone referenced, have leaning on the PartySlate team to help you. And so I'm just sharing this QR code here with anyone who is interested. Please scan that, fill out your information. It'll go to the right person. There's a lot of different ways that we can help. Obviously, if you need that demo, someone on our team can walk you through it, whether it's you or your whole team. We've done it all. I love when we can do the team-wide demo sessions because I do feel like it's helpful for all of you to be able to feel like you can depend on someone here at PartySlate to help with training your team as well. And if you're interested in that photo dump that, I know Tina's referenced, we are doing a complimentary one-time photo hub transfer for all of our members. So whether your photos are on Google Drive, Dropbox, SharePoint, we've seen it all, we've heard it all. Our team will actually help you transfer all those photos over to Photo Hub so that you really have a starting point to help you get set up with it. And if you have any other questions on your public profile or how to unlock the full value of your PartySlate membership, or other events that we have coming up, I think Elena mentioned our Chicago PartySlate Summit. We do have I think 10 events that we're doing throughout this year. So we have a lot of exciting things to come. That QR code will get you to the right place. Well, thank you again so much, Daniela, Tina, and Elena. It's been so great to have you here. I feel like I could talk to you for hours. Truly, the wealth of experience and knowledge that you guys have is just amazing. And thank you for sharing it with everyone here today.
This was fun, and I hope it was helpful for our listeners.
I feel inspired.
Good.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.